What's up everybody? Today's video is a little bit different than what you're used to on the RetroWolf88 YouTube channel. In today's video, I am going to recap my awesome experience at the Southeast Game Exchange 2021, otherwise known as SEGE. And I'm also going to show you all the pickups that I got at the convention. So allow me to take you on a journey through my experience at a really awesome game convention and tell you about all the amazing people I got to meet and hang out with. What's up everybody? Somewhere hidden in this video is my Corgi Link, and if you can find him, I want you to leave a comment down below with the timestamp and his exact location. Good luck. On to the video. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to start by going through each day. So I got into Greenville, South Carolina. I got into town on Thursday. I was there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then I left on Sunday after the convention. So I was there for pretty much 4 days. Now the reason that I got there Thursday and Friday is because there were going to be some other YouTubers that were going to get there early as well, and I wanted to have a chance to hang out with them. Let's start with day one. So I got into town at about 11 a.m. I checked into my hotel room. I grabbed some lunch. I ate an awesome freaking Reuben from a deli near the hotel called Midtown Deli. I have become a big fan of Reubens lately, and that Reuben was freaking amazing. So shout out to Midtown Deli for making a really awesome Reuben. So I chilled out in my hotel room until Gaming Off the Grid flew in and got to the hotel, and then we linked up in their hotel room and we started playing video games. Now I want to say this was my first time meeting Robert and Wes from Gaming Off the Grid. I walk in their hotel room and those dudes are sitting there already going to town on Contra Hardcore on the Sega Genesis because they're working on beating the game. And so I got to sit there as I met them. I got to sit there and watch them do a few runs in Contra Hardcore and watch them in action. Now here's the amazing thing, and this applies to everybody that I met during SEGE. All the YouTubers I met, all the supporters of the channel that I met, everybody that I met during SEGE, it never felt awkward. Everything just felt natural, like I've known these people all my life, and that's an awesome feeling. A really awesome feeling, because that means we all just click, you know what I mean? And I'm sure you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, because I'm sure there's people that you've met for the first time in your life that it just felt like a natural meeting. Nothing felt weird about it, nothing felt awkward about it, and that's how it was with Gaming Off the Grid and everybody else that I met. So after they got through with their Contra Hardcore run, I busted out my modded GameCube. We hooked it up to the HD TV and we started playing some GameCube games. Me and Robert sat down and played Alien Hominid for a little while, as well as the mini game that's on Alien Hominid called PDA Games, which was a lot of fun to sit down and play a game with Robert. And we just kind of hung out in the hotel room and played games. Megadan29 came down to hang out, as well as Gabbo from the Pixel Game Squad. And those are both awesome guys. They're both freaking hilarious, especially Gabbo. That man could be a stand-up comedian. He will make you laugh non-stop. He's so freaking funny. He has so many funny stories. He is just one of, I mean this, he's one of the funniest people I think I've ever met in my life. I was just laughing my ass off when he was around. Anyways, we all hung out in the hotel room, played some games, shot the shit, you know, just had a good time. And then we decided to go out to get some dinner. So we went to eat at a local restaurant that was right in the same parking lot as the hotel. It was within walking distance, and that would be Twin Peaks, which they have some amazing food. So we ate some food, we drank some beers, had a good time. It was a great dinner. After dinner, we got invited back to NES Addict's house. So we went over there, and this was awesome. Okay, so not only did I get to meet NES Addict, I got to meet NES Complex, I got to meet Riff from Pixel Game Squad, I got to meet freaking the man, the myth, the legend, John Riggs. And let me tell you something, John Riggs is much taller in real life than he looks in pictures. That is a tall man right there. But John Riggs, such a nice guy, such a cool, down-to-earth guy. I mean, everybody that I met at NES Addict's house was really, really nice and friendly. So we all just hung out, ate some pizza, talked. We got to see NES Addict's game closet. I say game closet because his game room is in a giant closet, and it was really awesome to see that. That's where he films his videos, so it was cool to see that. We played some games. Robert and Wes played some Contra. We got to see Gabbo beat everybody's ass in Street Fighter 2. He literally beat almost everybody in the house like it was nothing. Now, there were a few people that almost got him. John Riggs was one of those. John Riggs almost got him, but nobody was able to beat him. That man is a beast at Street Fighter 2.
Lame. I see right now. Go left.
It's just not even fair. It's just not even fair.
My God.
What a bowling. They are really good.
When I first played Prime, I was...
Damn.
Good job.
Also, shout out to NES Addict for inviting us all over to his home and allowing us into his house, especially some of us that he's never met before. He was a very gracious host, a very, very nice guy, very friendly, and it was awesome to be able to hang out in his place. But shout out to NES Addict and everybody that I talk about in today's video that has a YouTube channel. I'm going to leave a link to those channels in the description down below, so make sure you check them out. So after we got done at NES Addict's house, we headed back to the hotel, and me, Robert and Wes from Gaming Off the Grid, Megadan29, and Gabbo from Pixel Game Squad, we really just chilled out in the hotel room for the rest of the night. We didn't even really play that many games. We just chilled in the hotel room and talked till about 2 in the freaking morning. So, and the hours just went by fast. It was really great to just hang out with these guys, get to know these guys, just shoot the shit, have a good time.
He's trying to...
So that was Thursday. That was day 1 of this amazing experience. Now, day 2. Woke up pretty early in the morning. Didn't get much sleep. I think I got about 4 hours of sleep Thursday night because me, Robert, and Wes wanted to go do some video game hunting. We wanted to hit up some thrift stores in the area on Friday, and we hit up about, I would say, at least 20 thrift stores. We hit up almost every thrift store in the Greenville, South Carolina area. Now, unfortunately, we didn't really find a whole lot. The only thing that I picked up was a copy of Fighting Force on the PlayStation 1 for $3.75. It is complete. Got a little bit of water damage on the manual, a little bit of water damage on the disc. I don't know if it works yet, but nonetheless, it was still a pretty decent pickup, and hey, it's better than nothing. And that's all I picked up from the thrift stores. Robert and Wes, they picked up some stuff which you will see probably in their recap video or a pickups video, and they got a few decent items that they will be able to flip. But the best part about it was not the game hunting itself. Sure, that was fun, but the best part about it was just being able to hang out with Robert and Wes and see those guys in action while they're game hunting and seeing their methods and how they do it. Guys, say something to my audience.
What's your audience called? The Wolfers.
The
Wolf Pack? Oh! Don't turn your back on the Wolf Pack. Bum, bum, ba, da, da, da.
And let me tell you something, these guys move fast. We're in and out of the thrift stores and on to the next one, and they don't mess around. They try to make the best use of their time possible, which I do the same thing when I go game hunting, so it worked out really well. So it was just a lot of fun to go game hunting with the guys. We wrapped it up about noon, and then we went back to the hotel to just chill for a little bit, just relax. I went and got some lunch, and then later on we went to the convention because the convention hadn't started yet, but vendors were there setting up on Friday, and since we were special guests, we were able to go Friday and have first dibs at the vendors and also get our special guest pass. So we went to the convention, walked around a little bit, ran into Jay and Eric from the Game Chasers and chatted with them for a minute. We got Shady Jay from the Game Chasers and fucking 8-Bit Eric looking good. 8-Bit Eric looking good. Fist bump. So you guys, let us have it. Game Chasers movie. How pumped are you for the release, for the premiere, to see the reactions of the fans?
How much have you seen already?
Pretty good. But as of this moment, after this RetroWolf88 exclusive, yeah, I'm no longer entertaining questions pertaining to the release of this goddamn thing.
Well, you know I f***ed it up. I ruined it.
No, I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised with the movie. Yeah. From what I've seen, and I've seen a lot of the clips that have been like pasted together, if you will. It's good. I gotta be honest, it's good. Yeah. And I'm not saying that because it's my movie.
Right.
I think people are gonna actually enjoy the film. So
I have no doubt. No doubt. All right, later guys. And after that, we went back to the hotel. Me, Robert West, and Megadan29. We chilled out in the hotel room. We played some Super Smash Bros. We played some NHL Hits 2002. We played some Mario Kart Double Dash.
There you go.
We got Gaming Off the Grid. We got Megadan29.
And RetroWolf.
I don't know who that is. And if I remember correctly, Gabbo popped in and hung out as well. And then something awesome happened. Tom and Lacey from Do You Nerd got there, and JLove81 got there. So I got to meet Tom and Lacey finally for the first time, and I got to meet JLove, and I got to meet 8-Bit Glitch. I got to meet Sean from 8-Bit Glitch. And we all hung out in the hotel room for a little while. Eventually, Tom, Lacey, Jen, and some other people went to the convention to get their special guest pass, so we stayed at the hotel, hung out, played some games, and then we all went to eat at Twin Peaks again that night, except this time, there was a lot of us. A lot. We had probably the biggest group of people in Twin Peaks. There was probably at least 20 of us. I don't remember exactly how many, but it was me, it was Robert West from Gaming Off the Grid, it was Tom and Lacey, it was J-Love, Sean from 8-Bit Glitch, Zap Crystal showed up, so I got to meet Zap Crystal for the first time, as well as her husband, YouTube channel Mr. Wright Way. I got to meet him for the first time. John Riggs showed up, as well as Steve Craig Retro Games, which is a YouTube channel I had never heard of until that night. I got to meet him. Really cool dude. He's got a cool YouTube channel, so be sure and check that out. Also, Jake Randall was there. Got to meet him. And I also got to meet Andy from PacManCase. And the way that I met Andy from PacManCase was pretty freaking funny. Okay, so first of all, we were all drinking a lot. I'm not gonna lie, okay? Everybody was buying everybody drinks. I got my own beer. You know, Robert and Wes bought everybody a round of beers. Tom and Lacey bought everybody a round of shots. There was a lot of alcohol flying around the table, and it was really fun. So obviously, you're drinking a lot of alcohol at a restaurant, you're eating a lot of food, you're drinking water, you're gonna have to go to the bathroom a lot, right? So I go to the bathroom for like the third time because of all the alcohol I was drinking, and I'm at the urinal, and some guy comes up to the urinal, and he's like, I'm gonna use the bathroom next to this handsome guy right here. So already I'm thinking, who the hell is this? So I just kind of gave him a side glance, because if you're a man using the bathroom in a urinal next to another man, you don't make eye contact, right? It's kind of an unspoken rule. It's very weird if you make eye contact with another man while you're doing your business in the bathroom, you know what I'm saying? But this guy standing next to me was definitely trying to make eye contact, and I was like, what's up, man? You here for the convention? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, cool, dude, I'm gonna be on a panel, so if you get a chance, come check it out. And he's like, oh, I'm gonna be on a panel too, man. And I was like, oh, cool. And, I didn't think anything of it. I had no idea who was standing next to me. So I zip up, I go to wash my hands, I turn around, and it was freaking Andy from PacManCase. He was totally trolling me and messing with me, and it was so damn funny. We were laughing our ass off, and he was like, I was gonna see how long I could mess with you before you figured it out. So that was a fun way to meet Andy from PacManCase, and I'll never forget that, Andy. Till the day I die, I will always remember meeting you in a freaking bathroom in urinals next to each other while we're both taking care of business. Very interesting way to meet another YouTuber for the first time, but you know what? We had a good laugh about it. It makes for a funny story, and it just makes Andy more memorable in my mind, I guess. So anyways, went back out, finished the rest of the dinner. It was a great dinner. It was really awesome to hang out with all these amazing people, these amazing YouTubers, get to know them, and I'm pretty sure the waitress left with a really good tip, because I'm pretty sure every single one of us were good tippers, so she was probably pretty damn happy that night. After we finished dinner, we went back to the hotel. We went back to Robert and Wes's room. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, we had 2 CRTs hooked up in the hotel room. Megadan29 brought a CRT, a big CRT. Unfortunately, it didn't work, but you should have saw the looks of the hotel employees while Megadan29 and Wes was bringing that CRT into the hotel. They were like, what the hell are these guys doing? And one of the employees was like, we got big TVs in there, right? And Wes was like, not this kind of TV, you don't. So they didn't know what was going on. And I also brought a little CRT. Thankfully mine worked, so we were able to hook up a PlayStation 2 to that CRT. So we had a lot of, game consoles and game setups going on. And there were moments where there were so many people in that hotel room, in that small hotel room. But you know what? It was great. I wouldn't change it for the world. But regardless, we were all just hanging out in the hotel room, playing games, and having a good time. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And we were in there that night until about 3 in the morning, between 2 and 3 in the morning. So that night, day 2, I only ended up getting about 3 hours of sleep. So I didn't sleep very good and had to go to the convention that day. So I was consuming a lot of caffeine on day 3, which was Saturday, the first day of the convention. So let's go ahead and get into day 3. So day 3 was the first day of the convention proper. So we woke up that morning. Me, Robert, and Wes rode in my truck to the convention. We got there, I think we got there by 11 because the girls panel was at 11, and it was like the females of retro gaming panel, and it was Gamer Ahmer, it was J-Love, Zap Crystal, and Lacey from Do You Nerd. They had a panel together. It was a great panel. We sat and watched the whole thing, and basically they talked about you know, what it's like being a woman in the retro gaming community and a woman in the YouTube community, and some of the stuff that they have to deal with, unfortunately, from idiots in the comments, and some of the things that's said to them in the comments. At any rate, they put on an awesome panel. It was really good to see, and I'm sure you can see clips from that panel, or maybe even the entire panel, on one or more of their YouTube channels, which of course their YouTube channels are going to be in the description down below. After that panel, we walked the floor a little bit just to check out the vendors, see what all was going on. And then we went to catch the rest of NES Complex's panel. So we got to catch about 30 minutes of NES Complex's panel. It was great. That guy is very, very talented. If you've never seen his YouTube channel, you need to check it out. After Retro Complex's panel, we just walked to the floor of the convention center. You know, got to meet a lot of people, got to talk to a lot of people, you know, like Jay and Eric, and just so many awesome people we got to meet and talk to. And we ran into a longtime supporter of my channel. Her name is Laura. LaBowie Bass Music is her Instagram handle, and she's been a longtime supporter of the channel, watches my videos, comments, and I consider her a friend. Got to meet her, got to take a picture with her and meet her husband as well, and that was really awesome. I just wish I had had more time to chat and hang out with her, but things were so crazy, and I know that her and her husband, they weren't going to be there for very long. They had to head back, but it was still really awesome to meet her. So shout out to Laura, and I really appreciate your support. It means a lot, as well as everybody else that supports the channel. I appreciate you all, and I wish that I could meet you all, and maybe one day I'll get to meet a lot more of you in person. So we walked the floor some more, and about 2:30, me, Robert, and Wes had to go to the store to get some beer, because during their panel, which was going to be at 5 p.m., they were going to do a live beer review during their panel, so we had to get ready for that. So we picked up some beer, we came back to the convention, we walked around a little bit more, and then I prepared for the panel that I was going to be in with Tom from Do You Nerd and Andy from PacManCase. And it's worth noting a couple of things for those of you who don't know. This was the first time I've ever been a special guest at a convention, which I'm still blown away that Austin, the guy that runs the convention, allowed me to be a special guest and put me on a panel. So Austin, if you're watching this, brother, I really, really appreciate it. Again, it means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to the other guys as well. So me, Tom from Do You Nerd, and Andy from PacManCase all had a panel together about video game collecting, about our collections, and we were also joined by a fourth person unexpectedly, which was Wolf from Blips and Pips, which is another YouTube channel I've never heard of. So I got to meet him. He was on our panel, and we had an awesome panel. I felt like it went pretty good. I was nervous as hell, I'm not gonna lie, even though there were only like 20 people in the room, which, by the way, if any of you 20 people are watching, thank you for joining the panel. Seriously, it means a lot that you would take an hour out of your day at the convention to come sit down and watch the panel of a bunch of small YouTubers like ourselves, and we all appreciated it very much. But yeah, I was nervous, you know, but after a while the nervousness started to go away, and I hope I did pretty good for my first panel, and you guys watching can be the judge of that, because the panel is going to be coming out on the channel. I filmed the whole thing, so I'll be putting it on the channel tomorrow. If you're watching this video on the day it came out, it's going to go up tomorrow. If you're watching this video later, then the panel's probably already up on the channel. Now, it is pretty long, but if you get a chance to watch it and check it out, I would really appreciate it. And if you could let me know in the comments how you think I did in my first panel, I'd appreciate that as well. At any rate, we did the panel. It was great, and then I had to hurry up and grab my backpack and grab my camera, because I had to get to Gaming Off the Grid's panel room to film that for them. So we went to Gaming Off the Grid's panel, Robert and Wes. They did a fantastic job in their panel. They really, really knocked it out of the park. And I recorded their panel. I don't know if they're going to be throwing their full panel up on the channel, but I'm sure they'll talk about it and show some clips from it. So be sure and check out Gaming Off the Grid's channel so that you can catch some of that. But they put on a great panel. They did a beer review during the panel. It was a lot of fun. After Gaming Off the Grid's panel, we stood outside of the panel rooms and talked to several people for a little bit. And then we went and we caught the last, I'd say about the last 30 minutes of Jay and Eric's panel. And those guys are so damn funny. They are so funny. There were so many F-bombs dropped during that panel. They have no shits to give. But their panel was hilarious. And then after that, we all went to this bar called Local Q. Shout out to Austin again, the guy that ran the convention. He rented out this bar for all of the special guests, the vendors, and the crew and employees that helped with the convention. So we all went to this bar named Local Q, and we had dinner. We all, just hung out and just, conversed and got to know each other even better. I got to meet even more people for the first time while I was there. I got to meet Retro Rick. I got to meet Retro Reminiscence. And it seems like there were a few more people I got to meet for the first time, but I can't quite remember. It's all a blur. I'm telling you guys, it went by like that. It was just going a million miles an hour, so it's hard to remember every little detail. At any rate, got to eat dinner there. Food there was freaking fantastic. So good. Some of the best food I've had in a while, as a matter of fact. And the service was great, and we all just had a great time. But eventually, me, Robert, and Wes decided to duck out because we wanted to go back to the hotel room to hang out with people and play some games. So we went back to the hotel room. We went back to Robert and Wes's hotel room. It was me, Robert and Wes, Tom and Lacey from Do You Nerd, J-Love, Megadan29, and Gabbo. Honestly, we really didn't even play any games. We all just talked and just laughed and told stories and just had a great time until about 2 in the morning. So it was another late night. But it was just so much fun. And Gabbo told a lot of stories and jokes. Man, it's hilarious. And we just all laughed our asses off. We drank some more and we just had a great time. But we, had to go to bed eventually, especially considering Robert and Wes had to fly out at freaking 5:30 in the morning the next day. So those guys needed at least a couple hours of sleep. So eventually we decided to call it a night. But what a great, memorable night that was. And Tom and Lacey made me their world famous peanut butter shot, which consists of Screwball peanut butter whiskey and some kind of raspberry liqueur, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. And they were in these shot glasses that the shot glass had a divider down the middle, so you had the Screwball peanut butter whiskey on one side and the liqueur on the other side, and you down it at once, and it tastes like a freaking peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's incredible. So that was awesome to try their world famous shot. But we called it a night. I actually got 6 hours of sleep that night, so that was better than the first 2 nights. Next day, woke up. Unfortunately, Robert and Wes, they were gone because they had to fly back. But woke up, went back to the convention, and hung out more with Tom and Lacey from Do You Nerd, hung out with 8-Bit Glitch, hung out with Andy from PacManCase, and also I got to meet some more awesome people. Actually, I forgot to mention, I met Adam, aka the Retro Beard on Instagram. I actually met him on Saturday. Forgot to mention that, so shout out to Adam, aka the Retro Beard on Instagram. Super nice guy. He came to my panel, which was very awesome of you to do, Adam. I really appreciate it. And it was really awesome to meet him because me and him have talked on Instagram before. He's bought some games from me. Really nice guy, and he's got a pretty epic beard, I have to say. So it was awesome to meet Adam. Now, also on Sunday, I got to meet another couple of really good guys. I got to meet Jared, aka Retro Gaming Pandemic, and his brother Eric, aka Cup of Nintendo, as well as Eric's wife and Jared's girlfriend. Got to meet them. Super cool guys. Just super nice people, and it was awesome to be able to meet them and chat. I gave Eric a bunch of Nintendo Switch recommendations because he's a big Switch fan and collector like myself. Me and Jared talked about his game room. At some point, I'm going to come do a tour of his game room, so I'm really looking forward to that. And just super nice guys, and I was really honored to be able to meet them and chat and hang out for a little bit. Wish I could have hung out more, but craziness of the convention, it's just hard to be able to spend the time you want to spend with everybody because things are just moving so fast. But I'm very glad that I got to meet those guys and chat and talk about games. It was a lot of fun. Shout out to them. Check them out on Instagram and follow them if you're not already. So really that day I was really just walking the convention trying to find some deals, and that was the day that I got most of my pickups. Also talked with Jay about Cobra Kai for about 30 minutes. Jay's a huge Cobra Kai fan. I'm a huge Cobra Kai fan, so it was really awesome to chat with him. I got to chat with Eric for a little while. Shot a few videos with some people, so I'm going to show up on a few people's channel. Mr. Wright Way, Zap Crystal, Retro Rick, so I'm really looking forward to seeing that. So that shout out to Retro Rick. He has an amazing YouTube channel, especially if you want to learn about how to find stuff out in the wild and learn about reselling and things like that. Dude's got an awesome channel. Super nice guy as well, so it was awesome to be able to meet with him. Zap Crystal did a little interview with me for her channel. Mr. Wright Way was going around interviewing different people about does size matter with your game collection. But I mainly just walked the convention floor a lot with Tom and Lacey from Do You Nerd and Andy from PacManCase. Got my pickups. I do want to shout out a couple of the vendors at the convention if you guys want to look these people up, and I think they probably sell online too. So we got Red Fox Gaming, based out of Hickory, North Carolina. So that's actually a gaming store that's in Hickory, North Carolina. So that's Red Fox Gaming. So if you're in the North Carolina area, be sure and check those guys out. Also, Second Player Video Games is another vendor I want to shout out, and I believe they have a Facebook page mainly. So on Facebook, do a search for Second Player Video Games, and I am sure that you could find them. But I got some good deals, got some good pickups that we're going to go over here in just a bit. Before that, I want to tell you guys one really funny story that I actually got on camera, and this actually happened on Saturday. I was walking around a convention with Robert and Wes from Gaming Off the Grid, and they're probably going to tell this story on their channel as well. One of the main games they were looking for their collection was The Punisher for the Sega Genesis, and that's a pretty rare and expensive game. Well, they finally found a copy of it, complete in box, at a vendor. The vendor, I think, wanted $380 for it, which is quite a bit. It did look like it was in really good condition, but Wes opened the case. He was inspecting everything, and he couldn't help but notice how shiny and pristine the label was on the cartridge. It almost looked like it was a reproduction label. So he turns to the vendor and he's like, you know, hey man, take a look at this label. You know, is this a reproduction? Is this a repro label? It just looks really shiny. I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was something along those lines. So he hands it to the vendor, and the vendor looks at it. And I kid you not, this vendor stuck it to his face, he sniffed the cartridge, and he said no, and handed it back to Wes. And Robert was like, did he just sniff that game? It was the funniest damn thing, and I got it on camera, so we're going to roll that clip now so that you can see that and have a good laugh.
Good. Label might be a repro.
Oh, you think so? If anybody out there knows why the guy sniffed the cartridge, maybe there's something that we just don't know. Maybe you can sniff a label on a cartridge to tell if it's a reproduction or not. If any of you guys know, let me know in the comments down below, because maybe it's some technique that we just don't know about. But regardless, it was pretty funny to see somebody sniff a cartridge to tell us that it's not a reproduction label. Oh, and also on Sunday, I got to meet Cheap Finds Gold Mines. They have an awesome YouTube channel. Be sure and check that out. I got to meet them. Didn't get to chat for very long, but I'm at least happy I got to meet them and talk for just a couple of minutes. And that was pretty much it. I went around and said my byes to everybody. I bought a couple of hacked cartridges and a magazine from John Riggs, which I'm going to show in the pickups video. Said bye to Austin on my way out, and he gave me a SEGE 2021 banner because they were just giving them away. So I'm going to try to hang that up on my ceiling at some point. And then I headed back home. And it was really sad to head back home because it was just such a great few days at the convention. And you know, the best part about the convention was not the convention itself. The convention was fun, but the best part about the whole experience was all the awesome, freaking amazing people that I got to meet and hang out with and get to know and have conversations with and play video games with all the awesome people that I got to meet and hang out with. That was the best part about the convention, and that is what I'm going to remember the most about the whole experience. And of course, we all got to network with each other and you know, talk about our channels and talk about YouTube and give each other tips, give each other advice. So it was a great learning opportunity. It was a great networking opportunity, and I made a lot of great new friends. And that was pretty much my experience at SEGE 2021. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that I'm forgetting, because it was a lot, you know, a lot happened in that 4 days. But I'm going to run down a list of everybody that I met and shout them out. And if I'm forgetting anybody, please, if you're watching this and I'm forgetting you in my list, please let me know in the comments. And if I did, I apologize, but let me go down this list. Robert and Wes from Gaming Off the Grid, JLove81, Tom and Lacey from Do You Nerd, Steve Craig Retro Games, 8-Bit Glitch 79, Zap Crystal, Gamer Ahmer, Russ Lyman, Riff and Gabbo from Pixel Game Squad, Jack Randall, John Riggs, Wolf from Blips and Pips, Cheap Finds Gold Mines, Jay from the Game Chasers, 8-Bit Eric, NES Addict, NES Complex, Phoenix Resale, Mr. Wright Way, Andy from PacManCase, Retro Reminiscence, RoXolid Productions, Austin, the guy that ran the convention, Adam, aka the Retro Beard on Instagram, Eric, aka Cup of Nintendo on Instagram, Jared, aka Retro Gaming Pandemic on Instagram, Laura, aka La Valley Bass Music on Instagram, and also Brett. Brett was a supporter of pretty much all of our channels, and he actually hung out with us for most of the weekend. And at the convention, he hung out in the hotel room with us. So got to shout out Brett, super nice guy, and I'm glad to have been able to meet and hang out with Brett. So again, if I'm forgetting to shout anybody out, please let me know in the comments down below. Now, I don't know how long the video is up to this point. I've been talking for a while. I've been rambling. Like I said, this is going to be a different kind of video, not the usual scripted video that I do, just me kind of going off the cuff about this experience. But anyways, that's enough rambling for me. Let's get into the pickups that I got at SEGE 2021, and then we're going to wrap this video up. So let's get into some pickups, shall we? Now, I had not planned on buying anything while I was at this convention, to be honest with you. My budget was a little tight, but I ended up buying some stuff, and probably more, no, not probably, definitely more than I should have. But I got some good stuff, so let's talk about it. Now, this first thing, this isn't really a pickup, right? But this is my special guest pass. This is my SEGE 2021 special guest pass. And this is going to have sentimental value for me because it represents the first convention, not only the first gaming convention I've really ever gone to, the first real one, but the first gaming convention I've ever been a special guest at. So I'm going to have this laminated, and I'm going to keep it because it means something to me. Also got a 8-Bit Eric shirt. So let's take a look at this. We got the 8BE 8-Bit Eric shirt. Pretty nice shirt. I like it quite a bit, and you will probably be seeing me wearing that in a future video. So shout out to 8-Bit Eric. Really awesome guy, really nice guy, and I met him on the set of the Game Chasers movie, and it was nice to be able to talk to him again and hang out and chat and shoot the shit. So that was really cool. Now, I wasn't expecting to buy anything like this, and I don't know, a lot of you may not realize this or know this, but I'm a huge collector of card and board games. I got several hundred tabletop games in my collection, a lot of which are in storage because I just don't have the room for them in this place. But there was a board game designer there that was demoing his game. His name is David Abelson, and he was demoing a 2-player abstract strategy board game that he designed called Intelle, Hack or Be Hacked. It can be played with up to 2 players, 15-minute play time. He demoed the game for me, showed me how it played, showed me how it works, and I thought it looked pretty fun, and I wanted to support the guy, so I went ahead and bought a copy of it from him, and got a copy of a little expansion that goes with it, and he gave me his card. And if you want to check his stuff out, I will also throw his information in the description of the video down below. If this game looks interesting to you, go support the man. So that was really cool. I also picked up this awesome book, The Complete SNES Collector's Book and Ultimate Guide by Jeffrey Wittenhagen. And this is basically a book that has every Super Nintendo game in it. It has the cover art, a screenshot from the game, a little paragraph about the game, and it has check boxes for collector information, and it's a really nice little book. Pretty cool thing to just set on a table in the game room for people to pick up and look at while they're in the game room. I picked up a couple of Nintendo Switch games because I'm always looking for fun Switch games to add to the collection. So I picked up The Persistence. And I remember watching a gameplay trailer for this game, and it looked like a lot of fun. It says, can you survive in the Persistence? Fight to survive in this brutal first-person horror experience. Explore, evade, gather resources, and battle your way into the depths to save the ship and make the jump home. So I think it's like a rogue-like first-person shooter survival horror game, and it looks like a lot of fun. So I picked that up. Also picked up a game I've had my eye on in a while, and that is Mutant Year Zero Road to Eden, which is a strategy tactical RPG. Looks like a lot of fun. And I also picked up G.I. Joe Operation Blackout because you know what? I know the game didn't get great reviews, but I think it looks pretty fun, so I'm going to check it out. Also got a few things from John Riggs, and he signed all 3 of them. Got John Riggs' magazine, Nostalgia O's, and this is the first printing of it, which is why it says Demo Version 1 in the corner. And it's a magazine full of information about breakfast cereals, different cereal boxes with pop culture references and stuff like that, and you know, different information and facts and trivia about the cereal boxes. It's pretty fascinating stuff, very unique, and I'm interested in it and looking forward to reading through that. So shout out to John Riggs. I also picked up a couple of hacked cartridges from him. I picked up RGT85, the video game, and I also picked up Kenzie's Beer Run, and these are both John Riggs official hacked cartridges, and they look like a lot of fun, so I'm looking forward to checking those out and playing those. Now let's get to my 3 favorite pickups of the convention. Okay, and we're going to start with this. I bought my first Japanese GameCube game, because eventually, it's going to be a while probably, but eventually I'm going to try to collect every single Japanese GameCube game and every single PAL GameCube game. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm going to do that eventually. And so I got my first Japanese GameCube game, and it's one of my favorite GameCube games, Super Mario Sunshine. And I just love these Japanese GameCube cases. They're small. They come in this cool little slip cover. And then when you open up the case, the manual is in this nice little plastic holder. You still got the memory card slot. You got the disc in there. It's really cool packaging. It's really unique. And I have a feeling that these Japanese GameCube games, if I have a bunch of them, they're going to look really nice together on a shelf. And eventually I do plan on modding a GameCube to make it region free so that I can play Japanese games and PAL games. But yeah, my first Japanese GameCube game. Next up is a very, very heavy hitter for the collection. Now, as a lot of you know, when Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker was released, the pre-order bonus for Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker, if I remember correctly, was this bad boy right here. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time and Ocarina of Time Master Quest bonus disc. So you could get both of these releases separately. But what a lot of people don't know is there's actually a variant that comes with all of this in one case, and it's a variant that I did not have in the collection. Now, it's not considered part of a complete Black Label game set. It's a variant, it's a combo pack, right? But I finally got my hands on it. It's in really good condition. It's complete in box, both discs, both manuals, original cover art, and I got it for a good price. I did not pay that much for it. I didn't pay $225 for it. I talked the vendor down, and I finally have this variant in my collection. Now, a lot of you may be thinking, you're crazy. Why did you buy that? Well, because I'm crazy. I'm a crazy GameCube collector. What do you expect? But I'm very happy to have this in the collection, and I can't wait to get it on the shelf next to the other Zelda games. All right, now let's get to my final pickup, which is also my favorite pickup of the convention. Are you ready for this? I've been on the lookout for one of these for years. They're very hard to find, especially in good condition and actually work. But I finally got my hands on the Intelle GameCube portable screen. It works and it's awesome. And I got it for a great price. Now, the unfortunate thing is the guy didn't want to sell me the screen by itself. He didn't want to sell it separately. He wanted to sell it in a bundle with the Indigo GameCube, a Game Boy player, no startup disc unfortunately, but the Game Boy player. Also came with a Indigo controller, both of the original hookups, and it all came in this GameCube travel bag. So I got all that for $280. Now the plan is to keep the screen, and I'm probably going to sell the rest to recoup a lot of my money so that hopefully I will have paid not that much for the screen itself. But it's really awesome to have a working Intelle GameCube screen, and eventually maybe I can collect the other colors as well, because I think it did come in black and platinum also. But I'm very happy to have at least one of them. Speakers work, the screen works. Now I'll be honest, playing on this screen is not the best. Much better to play on a CRT, but it's still cool to have the option. So very happy to have that, and I love how it attaches to the GameCube and folds down like a freaking laptop. It's just so cool. That was a holy grail item for me, really, and I'm very happy to have gotten it, and gotten it for a great price, because there was another vendor that was selling the GameCube with the screen, the same GameCube with the screen, for $500. And I paid $280 for this whole bundle. So I got a really good deal on it. But that's pretty much it, everybody. I'm sure this video has gone on for way too long. I'm sure a lot of you have probably clicked off the video. But for those of you who didn't click off the video, for those of you who have stuck through to this point, thank you so much. I appreciate the support. I love you all. I mean that. You're all awesome. And please, if you're going to a convention in the future, let me know, because I would love to meet you. I would love to hang out. I would love to chat. I would love to get to know you. If you ever see me at a convention, do not be afraid to come say hi. I'm just a person. I'm just a small YouTuber. Don't ever be afraid to come up to me and say hi. And we can chat, we can have a conversation, we can get to know each other, we can talk about video games or whatever. I love to meet new people. I love to talk to new people. So by all means, if you ever see me in public or at a convention, come say hi to me. Next game convention I'm going to be going to is Midwest Gaming Classic, November 5th through the 7th. So if you're going to Midwest Gaming Classic in November in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, let me know in the comments down below so that we can hook up and hang out and have a good time. So there you have it, folks. There is my recap of SEGE 2021 and a look at some of my gaming pickups. Let me know in the comments down below if you went to SEGE 2021 and what your experience was and what some of your pickups were and some of the awesome people you got to meet and hang out with. Also, let me know in the comments down below if you weren't able to make it to SEGE in 2021. Are you going to try to make it to 2022, or are there any other gaming conventions you're going to try to hit this year or next year? Let me know all those in the comments down below so that maybe we can run into each other and hang out. As always, folks, keep playing games and having a good time. Stay safe out there, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Later.
If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. You're freaking awesome. And if you enjoyed it, hit that like button, share it with your friends and family. Check out all the social media links in the description down below. And if you want to see more RetroWolf88 videos, here's a couple more for you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go play some more video games. Later.